everybody!
Thank y'all for coming out. I really like all the open mic comics. I'm gonna try to relate to some of them with some of my material. So someone mentioned Poseidon earlier. I haven't been able to do my Poseidon joke in a minute, but it's for those special occasions. I wouldn't say Poseidon had a big penis, but that is where they got the term Ocean's 11. Yeah. And someone mentioned Matthew McConaughey earlier. It's a true story. Some guy was in a coma, and he woke up from the coma and he thought he was Matthew McConaughey. It's crazy to me. 1 minute you're ill, the next minute you're all right, all right, all right. I used to start off my set by having y'all get to know me a little bit better. So I used to start off by coming out and letting everybody know that I'm gay. But I recently got this haircut to save myself on time. My hairstylist, she calls this the J-Law or the Jennifer Lawrence. But when I look in the mirror, all I see is Harry Potter. Let's be real. And I have to say it, that motherfucker, Harry J. Potter fucking sucks as a wizard. I'm sorry if I have to be the one to say it, but like, what kind of wizard still needs glasses? It's like, ooh, you couldn't figure out the spell for LASIK? Come on, bro. But my roommate's like obsessed with those Harry Potter books and the movies, and she finally convinced me to read the book. So I read the first book. I was like, all right, it's a kid's book. Gave it back to her. She's like, no, you gotta keep reading, because by the time you get to the fourth book, you're gonna be hooked. And I was like, seriously, you expect me to spend more time on these books than I did in my last relationship? Shit ain't gonna work. But I had a lot of support in coming out from my friends and family, especially my parents. When I came out to them, all my dad said was, well, that explains the mystery of the missing Playboys. He had all those issues, all those years. My poor brother got in a lot of trouble. I was just really confused. I definitely owe that guy. And my mom, ever the Jew, my mom is like, so what you're telling me is that when you get married, I get to split the cost of your wedding. And I'm like, yes, Mom, whatever gets you through this conversation. I'll take it. But I came out after college, and I feel like by the time I came out, like everyone in my life kind of already knew. From a very young age, I was very strangely drawn to softball. And even in high school, all my friends were like, oh my god, who's cuter, NSYNC or Backstreet Boys? Not me. I was lost in the Spice Girls world. Yeah, those 5 hot chicks, with those accents, they're half naked, and they're asking me what I want. What I really, really want. And let's face it, y'all, they knew. They really, really knew. Which of course was to open a bookstore in Portland with them. But the weirdest thing for me about coming out is that like my relationship with my dad just totally changed. Like before that we used to fight all the time, we like never got along. And now all of a sudden we had this common ground. We had the ladies. And it blew his mind because he knew that I knew what he was thinking. Which is, does her carpet match your drapes? And it was really cool, like everyone was really excited we're getting along. Even my grandma, she's like, I'm so happy you guys don't fight. But she couldn't figure out why we kept going to the mall and coming back with nothing. But I was called a lady for the first time the other day, without the word cat in front of it. That felt pretty good. I'm waiting for the day that I'm called hot without the word mess after it. One day, guys. But I am a cat lady, though. I have 3 cats. I love them to death. I'd do anything for those guys. My oldest cat, Buford, needed dental work. $700 to get my cat's teeth fixed. I love them. I paid it. My buddy was like, isn't it only $50 to put them down? I could never do that, guys. You know, I'm a single lesbian. Like, they're all I have. I did recently get out of a relationship, but it's coming, my new Taylor Swift CD arrived on the same day we broke up. So I was like ready for that shit. Now, if only my Prince CD had arrived on the same day, I could have had some breakup sex. But the one thing I hate about like coming out to everyone and being gay is that everyone assumes that I know every other lesbian on the planet. It's really fucking annoying. It's like, hey, you know my friend Jen? I'm like, no, why? Oh, she's a lesbian. I'm like, oh, you didn't just said lesbian Jen. I'm like, yeah, I know her. I'm like, I also know your dad Steve, so what does that say? I am Jewish. I grew up in a very Mormon area, which was really weird for me. Everyone was a little different. Like even at the school dances, when you dance, you left a little space for the Holy Ghost. And I realized that these were the first threesomes I ever witnessed. Which is why I'm always really confused about sex. I'm originally from Los Angeles. I've been in New Orleans now about 6 years. So when I tell people I'm from LA, one of the first questions they always ask, they're always like, hey, are you ever planning on going back? Then I have to explain to them, no, I've gained 60 pounds, I'm no longer allowed. I don't make the rules, guys. But I'm like growing up in LA, like growing up in that environment, it really like it fucks with your head, it messes with your psyche. Like the other day I was supposed to meet my friend for drinks. And she texts me and she's like, I can't make it, I have a stomach bug. I've been shitting and puking all day. And I'm just like, oh man, just imagine how thin you're gonna be at the end of that. And then for like 2 minutes I considered going to her house to get the stomach bug. Because it sounded easier than going to the gym. While I do love women, like, sometimes being with women is they're complicated, you know? Like with my last girlfriend, one night I'm trying to get things going, trying to set the mood. I put a little mood music on, a little Milli Vanilli, you know? Because girl, you know it's true. And I'm making my way over to her, and she stops me dead in my tracks, and she flips on the lights, and she's like, if you want to fuck me, you have to fuck me mentally. I was like, shit, I thought I could just light some candles and get this going. All right, I could do this. So I pull her in close and I lean in and I whisper in her ear and I'm like, did you know in 1939, Adolf Hitler was nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize? Because if that doesn't fuck you mentally, like, I don't know what will. It's like, I heard that shit 2 years ago and it is still messing with my head. But apparently that wasn't what she wanted to hear. She ran out of the room crying, I just wanted you to say I was pretty. I was in my office the other day, and my coworker came in, and he was like, hey, would you like to buy some Girl Scout cookies for my daughter? And I'm like, yeah, cool, where is she? Because I was a Girl Scout, so my rule with the Girl Scouts, I only buy directly from the Scout. I had to peddle that shit, I knocked on more doors than a Jehovah's Witness. I expect the same from these kids. So my coworker, a grown man, he's a lawyer, he's like, actually, she's very busy, and she won't be able to come to sell you the cookies. She's 10. I'm 31 and I'm still not that busy. And clearly he had all fucking day. I was like, I'm sorry, I thought they were called Girl Scout cookies, not Daddy's Too Whipped to Tell Mommy No cookies. I don't know if you've seen, Papa John's has this new pizza, it's a Fritos pizza.
Oh.
It's where they take like a, somebody's seen it. It's where they take like a regular shitty Papa John's pizza and they put Frito chips, not in it, but just like directly on top of it. So when you're looking at this pizza, you get a picture of what your toilet's gonna look like tomorrow. I know, that shit ain't pretty. It's a warning, guys. You gotta pay attention to these things. I thought my identity had been stolen recently, but it turns out that my ex just prefers to spend my money. She'd gone on my Amazon account and she bought herself a copy of Eat, Pray, Love. So now, every time I go on Amazon and I look at the recommendations, Amazon recommends that I shut the fuck up and get over myself. Alright, thank you guys so much for having me in the Man of
Keep it going for a Man of G, everybody!